Evening, guys, and welcome back to Skyrim 10 AD. This is session 7, and believe we're starting off with episode 17. If I've got that right. If not, then I don't think it matters much. Looking back on where our characters have journeyed to up until now, 3 of adventurers. By the names of Luke, Botti, and Jaquai, new to Skyrim, have just arrived across the border and entered into the town of Falkreath, where they've made some friends and had some adventures, learning a little bit about each other, and then learning some more about their new guide, a resident of Skyrim and seemingly Falkreath by the name of Mouse. Septimus Volplin, but he prefers Mouse. And they have since decided to head out to investigate the local, not local, but a nearby keep by the name of Helgen, reputed to be the starting point of the legend of the Dragonborn. So much to Botti's glee, they headed off in that direction. But also, after decoding a letter, Mouse informed them that there may be some bandits or a skooma operation, or even a young person in danger there. So they headed into Helgen Keep, and while attacking and trying to gain entry, they met up with a new friend, Hamming, who seemed to be a rather sort of like not sociable Nord, who lent them a hand in gaining entry and dispatching, but having a personality clash with Botti, he decided to head out and leave the case to the rest of them to try and clear out the rest of the bandits that inhabit Helgen Keep. They made their way down to the very depths of the keep, dispatching the bandits relatively quickly, mostly while they're still in their sleep, and entered in the final room where they found a bandit chief sitting down at a table across from another man. Upon hearing their entry, though, the man stood up while the other younger but much larger gentleman ran to hide in the corner, screaming, "Please don't kill me." Luke stepped forward and attacked and threw a guiding bolt at the man on the opposite side of the room, dealing some damage. And then upon getting closer to them, seemed to recognize who he was. And that's where we pick up. We now go to roll 20, and Luke had just attempted to attack this supposed bandit chief with a sacred flame cantrip, which he dexterously avoided and jumped out of the way. But upon turning around and seeing his face, Luke had recognized his face. You guys want to do a little quick character introductions?
Sure. Well, Mouse is, as you say, a resident of Skyrim. He grew up in Whiterun with his aunt, who died when he was 14, and he's been on his own pretty much since then, making his own way.
Yeah, Luke is a Nord. He actually grew up in Cyrodiil. This is his first time at age 30 something. This is his first trip into Skyrim. He has talked with his companions liberally about his time in a monastery of Kinnerath or Kine, whichever you prefer, and but has talked very little about his anything about his pre-adult life, other than that he grew up on a farm of Nord parents in Cyrodiil.
Awesome. And one of you guys can just jump right in there.
Well, Botti is a sassy little wood elf down from Balinwood Way, hot on the trail of any information that she can take in about the Dragonborn. She is a bard, loves to play music, collect stories to be able to put her own twist on them and deliver them to people out in the world. So she has met up with this merry band of gentlemen to help escort her on her mission to try to find out what she can about the Dragonborn.
Awesome. And finally,
Jaquai is a Khajiit from elsewhere. He grew up in a monastery, is a monk, and he is in Skyrim on search of his brother.
amazing. And that's where we lead into our story. At the end of our previous episode, Luke had just attacked with a sacred flame place, but Broto Hatelius had deftly avoided it. And is there anything else you would like to do, Luke? He's grinning there, and you see that face, and he's just smiling straight at you. Well, it's not his turn yet, but is there anything you'd like to do?
So, all right, just the quick orientation. All right, so that I don't know if everybody's colors are the same. So, like, I'm clicking and there's like a red circle. That's mouse, I think, right? I just want to orient myself.
No, that the green one is Butty.
Okay, yeah, because it's showing us the one that I'm clicking on, where like the red sort of sonar ping is there.
Yep,
that's showing as. So that's weird because I have colors at the bottom of my Roll20 screen that don't match the colors on the. That's why I was confused. So
I'm in front and to the right of you.
Okay, so you are right there. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So that would be this. So Jaquai would be over here, in the bushes.
Yep.
And then that's me by the. Is this Colin? Is this a remind me? Is this like a pool or is it like an underground river that's flowing?
Yeah, it's a river that's flowing, and it's
okay. So there's
flowing
a river, and then
in this direction.
Okay, cool. And then so the guy that I recognize is this guy that's closer to us. Is that right?
Yeah, he's up
and
there.
And over here is the person that he was yelling at, like, this is your chance, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
The guy. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So I just acted. So I guess technically this is sort of my free action turn.
Yes.
Right. Okay. I have no words. I just stare at this guy, and the rest of the party sees my shield and mace not drop from my hands, but my hands just drop to my sides, and I just gawp at this guy, completely, but completely befuddled that I've seen this person, and I'm just stunned that I recognize this guy, and that's all. I have no words.
Okay. Next after we have Butty. Butty, you're down here. You see this guy has been screaming at this young, what appears to be a rather large, but according to Mouse, you heard Mouse say, don't hurt the kid. Scream out just as the battle began. He said, don't hurt the kid, and you saw this person run into the corner, and he's now crouching down with his head in his hands, screaming, please don't hurt me. And this is you here, and you saw Luke attack, but for some reason he kind of seems like a little out of it. You're standing behind him, so you can't see it too much, but you just did see that his sword and shield went down by his mace and his shield just went down by his side. So what would you like to do?
And we are actually in combat wanting to do damage to this other individual.
Luke has already hit him with a guiding bolt. You saw him.
So my instinct would be to want to go to Luke and ask why he's befuddled, why he's stopped, why he's not still, attacking.
Yeah, so that's what you can. It's only a 6 seconds, so you don't have to walk up to him. You can sort of like utter a few words, or if you want to just say, Luke, snap out of it, or if you want to say, like, Luke, what's up? or anything like that. You can say that within and then still have your action. But Luke has been attacking, and the guy at the top, this one here, has been very aggressive. He's already thrown 2 daggers at Jaquai.
Yeah. Great. I will say, Luke, shall I take him down?
I have no words.
I move within range and draw my bow.
Okay, so do you know what the range is? See if you're in, because I don't know whether you're definitely in range to hit, but whether you're
his bow
80. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
About 60,
45, 50, 55, 60. Yes, I think you were over here and you moved up there, so you'd be in range with your bow. So yes,
I think it's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can make a range attack.
Let's see, I need to pull up the dice page, sorry. And with my bow is a 1d4.
Yeah, you roll to hit first, so you roll a d20.
D20.
I'll roll a 20 first. A 19.
That definitely hits. His armor class is with your bonuses to that, so that definitely hits. So roll for damage.
Sorry, you cut out for a second there. After the 1d20, then what?
Roll for damage. So I believe it's your
1d4.
bow. Yep. So just roll a 1d4 and then add your dexterity modifier to it.
3 plus a 3 dexterity would be 6.
Short bow, I thought was a D6.
It is, but he pulled this. She pulled that short bow off of that. The bandits they met in episode 1, and I told him it was really. I told her that it was a really crappy, horrible one, and it only does 1d4, and she's going with it.
It's been a while.
So give me 1 second. So that was. And you said, yeah, 6. You were at a blacksmith.
I bought a warhammer, so I don't know what you guys were doing.
So is there?
I'll do that next time.
Yeah. So is there a bonus action? Is there anybody you would like to? Because it's been a while, so I'll remind you that you do have a bonus action. You can inspire somebody. Let's see. Actually, 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Isn't it? Is there a range on the inspiration?
Ooh.
Mouse is within 30 here.
Inspiration. Information. There we go, Bard.
Inspiration, 60 feet.
60, yeah. So everybody's in range apart from the kid.
And let's see who has yet to move. Jaquai got attacked. Pat's already moved. Has Mouse made his move yet? I'll inspire Mouse.
You want to inspire Mouse? What would you like to say to him to inspire him to let you know, give him some a helping hand in his attack or what he decides to do?
I say, I will hold my tongue on the Dragonborn for a whole day.
Oh my God. Hold him back. He's going to go up shit.
Make your best attempt to damage this, sir.
Take your
You really know the way to a man's heart, I tell you.
Whole day.
Mouse looks over at, looks back over his shoulder and sort of gives a smirk.
Take your 1d6 there, Mouse.
Let's see. 3.
No, you add that to if you choose to the next time you make a die roll. If you think that before I tell you whether it hits or not, you could decide to roll a d6 at any time to add to it. And how long is that for? How long does it last? It lasts about a minute, doesn't it? Or is it a half an hour?
Inspiration, 60 feet. Within 10 minutes, the creature can roll a die
10
to add
minutes,
value.
That's forever in combat.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're fine there. So for foreseeable future, you've got that 1d6 if you think that you might be close to hitting, but you're just shy of it. So, and up next is Jaquai.
Okay, so Jaquai digs in his feet and takes off sprinting towards the wall, directly towards the bandit.
Okay, so you're going here? Along
Yep.
this route here?
And when I reach here, I'm leaping over the edge of the wall.
So you're going to leap up. Yeah, it was only 5 feet, so you don't even have to have an acrobatics check for that. So, yeah, that's fine. So you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, so you right up into his grill.
And with that, my right claws pop out and swing for the guy's head.
Go for it. Roll a d20.
Hey, that's 17.
17. That definitely hits. Roll for damage.
Uh, 9.
9. So, with that, you see this guy, Jaquai, run and sprint straight. And just as he's 5 foot from the wall, he just gets real low, and then in a sudden pounce, just springs from a low position right straight up on his feet. No climbing over with his hands or anything like that. Just a straight up jump, lands on his feet, and then when his right hand comes up and slashes right across the face of the bandit and starts putting claw marks right across his forehead. And next, what would you like to do?
Flurry of blows. So I'll spend a key point.
And your bonus action to do flurry of blows. So roll another attack.
Oof. This one, so 24.
Oh, that definitely hits. Roll for damage.
7.
Okay, 7. Eventually come up with the left and drag it across his right shoulder, scratching up his arm, the one that holds one of his swords, or his scimitars. He actually has a set of scimitars on it, and scratches right across the side of it. And next attack.
16.
16. That still hits.
Jeez.
Oh wait, 16. Give me 1 second. So 16 action. So as you're coming up with your next attack, you fling up. Broto pulls across his scimitar that's in his left hand, and just crashes right into the back of your hand, parrying away your third hit and increasing his AC by 2, increasing it to 17, causing you to miss.
Ah.
So that was your action. You've still got some movement left. Did you want to stay there? But seeing as it's been so long, I will let you know, remind you that if you move away from him, he does get an opportunity attack, or he would do if he hadn't just used his reaction to parry. So he has no reaction anymore. He used his reaction to parry away your last hit. So you've got no reaction. So you can actually move away from him if you want without incurring an opportunity attack.
Okay. I'm going to jump back down.
I don't think he can move that far. You were here. That's 5, 10, 15.
How far can I move on my-
25, 30. You got moving the speed of 40, right?
Right.
Yeah, so it's 30 and then another 5 and 10. So you can move
To there.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you go slash, 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 and as he looks around, he turns around and just grins right at you, and he goes, that's the fucking spirit. And next up is Mouse.
All right, so this is a 5-foot wall here.
5 foot high, yeah.
Yeah, so I can still hit him with a bow from... Well, no, I'm going to do the same thing, run and jump up. So I'm going to go, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to there. Why am I not able to... First of all, my mouse is grayed out for some reason right now, but that's all right. And then I'm going to draw my bow and take a shot at him with the bow.
Go for it.
12 plus, is it?
Dex
14.
and proficiency.
Yeah, so 17.
17. That still hits.
And 6. That is a 6 plus 5, 11.
No, you don't add proficiency to damage. You just add your dex to the damage.
Okay, sorry. So just 3. All right. So yeah. So 9. Pardon me.
9.
Yeah, I have it written. That I had written in wrong in my chart. That's why I keep doing that. So I'm going to redo that. Okay.
And that was how much total? 7?
9. 9 total for hit. It was 6 on the die and 3 plus
Yep.
3 dex.
Yeah, so Mouse comes up there, jumps up right up behind him, pull out the bow and ping, and it comes up, hits him right in the left shoulder. And he sort of like looks around at you. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Yeah, I'm going to jump back. Just I'm going to take my cunning action, bonus action, and just jump down and duck to right there. Just duck below the wall a little bit.
No worries. And next up, we have Broto. So Broto looks over and he goes, wow, isn't this fucking lovely? And he goes, now it's time, kid. And he goes, you don't fucking do shit. The boss is going to have your precious Annie key in a fucking jar. Get you off your ass and do something. And then he jumps forward, walks forward, and jumps, getting into melee. He jumps off the bottom of the wall right here. And then he makes his attacks against you, Jaquai. So he has 2 scimitars. Sorry, with his scimitar. So he has 1 scimitar, but he makes 2 attacks with it. So, back. And that's plus 5 to hit. So that's a 16, that's a 21.
Ouch.
That does hit. So that is 1d6 plus 3. So that's 7 points of damage. And then he's going to hit you with the scimitar again. So he lifts up the scimitar and goes right across your chest, swinging from right to left. Catches you right across the chest. And then he's going to attack again with the same scimitar, coming back the opposite way. Ooh, and that is an 18 plus 5, so that's 23. So that hits.
Oh no.
Another d6. And that's again, that's a 4 plus 3, so that's another 7 damage. And
Ouch
then,
again.
as he rings it across, he gets his left hand and pulls another dagger out from the side of his belt and attacks you with that. And that's a 1. So as he's pulling the dagger out, he's smiling at you, and as he lifts it up like that, the dagger actually flies backwards out of his hand and lands back on the precipice just behind him.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Yeah.
And he goes, whoopsie, whoopsie, fucking do. So, after that, after his turn, he is going to. So he still has some movement left. So he's going to just move there next to the stairs. And then next up is actually, yeah, with his bonus action, Broto, or was no, he's got the attacker with him. Yeah, so with his bonus action, you see as the whatchamacallit, the dagger goes flying, he puts his hand into his pouch just at the back and pulls out a little glass vial. And with his thumb, just pops the little cork over it and takes a nice big slap out of it. So this small glass vial with red liquid in it. So that is 2, 5, so 7. 7. So as he's swallowing this, you see the claw marks that you put across his forehead start to disappear, and all the blood starts to stop. So now it's Lanneal's go, and I'm gonna have Broto, from his speech earlier on, roll an intimidation check. And no, that's a 5. Lanneal doesn't move. He still stays in his crouch position and doesn't get up just into the combat. So after Lanneal is finished, it's now back to Luke's go.
All right, so the river is passable, but is difficult terrain.
Yes, it's passable but difficult. It's probably just above your knees, so it kind of slows you down a little bit.
All right, so let me count. So let's see. So if I take I can move half movement. Is that right?
Yes, through the difficult terrain, it takes up.
So, so I can move. All right, my movement is what? It's 30 or
30.
Wait.
30.
Yeah, so my movement is 30. I can move 30 and attack, or I can move 60 and not attack, right? So if I move...
Yes.
5, 10... I think we were just counting the diagonals without worrying about the diagonal. So 5, 10, 15, 20... That'd be 40.
Are you going here like this?
Yeah, I was just sort of counting ahead before. So 5, 10, 15... 20, that'd be 40, 45. Okay, I think I can literally, if I absolutely sprint, I think so here's what so I can go 5, 10. So that's actually 10 because it's difficult terrain. So it's effectively double. So so right there. So this would be, let me get back to let me see if I have the right. All right, that's 10, 20.
Okay, so stop
30.
there. Stop there.
That's 30.
No. Stop there, Pat.
Yeah.
Go back.
Yeah.
Go back one.
Go back. I was there. So it's 10, 20.
You suddenly hear bang, and you feel an intense pain on your right leg. Give me 1 second.
Caltrip or trap or something in the water.
Yep. So right there, and there. So right on the U is a bear trap that's just snapped right across your legs.
All right.
So give me a second. I'm gonna find where it is. Oh wait, it's probably on the bloody token. And so I'm just gonna move you just out of the way for a second there.
Yep.
And yep. So when you so the traps that's too still, you must succeed on a DC 13 Dexterity saving throw. So roll a D20 for a Dexterity saving throw.
I failed. 8.
Right. So you take 1d4 piercing damage. I'll roll that. Oh, 4. You take 4 points of damage.
All right.
And piercing damage, and stop moving because it's nailed to the ground. Therefore, until the creature breaks free of the trap, its movement is limited by the length of the chain. It's typically 3 feet, so you're locked within inside that 5 feet square. A creature can use its action to make a DC 13 strength check, freeing itself or another creature within reach on a success. Each failed check does 1 piercing damage to the trapped creature. So it's your turn. So if you want to, you can use your action to try and break free from it, or you can do something else with your action.
Oh, I'm totally. At this point, I fling my shield to the shore, and with one, I have the warhammer in one hand, and with the other hand, I just use all my might to try to free myself. All right, so that's and that is a 22.
So you easily pull it apart, so even with the 1 foot.
So that's my action for this turn, right?
Yep.
All right, so I effectively had to move 20 to get here, so I have movement of 10 left, right?
Yeah, so you can go 1 space.
And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to run. I'm going to continue to charge through the water. I don't care. There's another trap there. I'm charging ahead.
Okay, so yeah, you can't see the traps because
I can't see. I'm just charging ahead.
And did you say you threw down your shield?
My shield is now back over. When the trap hit me, that was just the last straw. I just threw my shield onto the shore, and with my free shield hand, just ripped the trap apart and pressed on ahead for that extra 10 feet of movement.
Okay, and you didn't pick it back up again, no?
I did not pick it. The shield is over here. You know, it's over here on the shore where I'm clicking.
Perfect.
So it's out of play for the combat.
No worries. So next up is Botty, I believe. Yes, it's Botty. Botty, it's now your go.
Okay, well, he's over here by the stairs in the pit. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Let me take another shot with my bow.
Okay.
In there. So what? Let's see. A 20 first.
Yep.
Just see if it's a hit. Oh, only 10.
Plus your dex and your proficiency, so that's plus 5.
So 15.
15. That hits. Roll for damage.
Oh, sweet.
15 just hits. That's his armor class.
Only a 1.
Only a 1. But you add your dexterity modifier to that, so that's a 4 in total.
Yep. 4 there. Yep. Dexterity plus 3. Yep.
Okay. And you can only minus 4. You can only give 1 inspiration out at a time. But is there anything else you'd like to do with your bonus action, your free action? Is there anything you want to do, say, or is there anything on your spells list there that you'd like to go through?
Gosh, does anybody need healing or anything? Is that something I could do?
You just saw Jaquai get
Yeah, let's go
twice
Jaquan.
with a scimitar attack.
Let's see, how close do I have to be to do that, though? Might not be close enough.
Yeah, so you have healing word, if I'm correct.
Yes, that is correct.
Can you do that and also make a bow attack?
Probably not, right?
Yeah, you can make the attack action is your action, and then you have a bonus action,
15, 20,
and the healing word is a bonus action.
50,
Ah,
50,
cool.
55. It's a 60-foot range. He is 55 feet away.
Yep, so
Cool.
then you can definitely do healing word.
Healing word. All right. First level. Let's see. 1 bonus action, range 60 feet. Creature seen within range regains HP equals 1d4 plus my spellcast modifier. Has no effect on undead or constructs.
Yep, so that is so roll a 1d4 and then add your charisma modifier and your proficiency bonus.
I got another 1 plus charisma.
Or is it charisma? No, it's just charisma modifier, isn't it? It's not your proficiency bonus, yeah. So whatever your charisma modifier is.
Total 4.
So you get 4 hit points back. Anything you want to say as you're sort of like using the power of your voice to give healing to Jaquai?
Rise, my kitty brother.
And Mouse and Jaquai, you don't actually see it, but you do feel sort of like, you're much similar to the way that you see the potion worked on Broto. You feel the same way. The sort of like the slashes across your chest start to close up, and the blood flow slows down. And Mouse, you see these sort of like again these sort of like a green magical sort of like words with flecked with gold coming out of her mouth as she's sort of like singing "Rise." And next we are on to Jaquai.
Okay. So while I feel a little bit better, I can't take a chance on getting hit again like that. So I'm going to take a running jump over the river and end up next to Mouse.
Okay, so he's going to get an attack of opportunity against you, or if you want, because it was back his round, so he's got his reaction back. So he can, as you walk away from him, he can make an attack of opportunity for you. The only way he can't is that you also have a similar thing to what Mouse has, which is Step of the Wind, I believe it is, and you can use a key point to disengage, so he won't get an attack of opportunity.
Okay, I'll use my second key point for that.
Okay, so you use a key point and you disengage from him, and managing to use your dexterity and your sort of like your nimbleness to be able to, even though he swings at you, be able to disengage from him so he doesn't take an opportunity to attack. You die. You will have to make an acrobatics check to try and jump over the rushing water, because it is like 15 foot. So make an acrobatics check.
Does that include proficiency?
Yes, you're proficient in acrobatics, I believe. It should say in your character sheet.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So yeah, roll a d20 and then add your dex and proficiency bonus.
18.
18, just making it. DC on that was 15. So yeah, you make it all the way to the other side and you land right next to Mouse. Is there anything else you would like to do? You used your bonus action and your movement to get there and to disengage from him. You still have an action. You can't attack, but you still have an action that you could do.
I'll just lick my wounds.
Okay.
Oh, hairball.
It's going to be messy later.
So, and now after that, are you done there, Jaquai?
I am done.
Okay, after that we have Mouse.
All right, Mouse is going to leap back up over and come down here. He's going to run along the top of the wall and then jump back down right in front of, what's his name there? I forget.
Broto.
Sorry.
Elliot.
Broto. Pardon me, Broto. I forgot your name. And then, since he's not quite close enough, couldn't get quite close enough for his daggers, he's going to have to use his bow again. So we're going to draw and fire the bow, and that is 21.
That hits.
And that's 8 for 8 damage.
8. Okay. Starting to look. There's now an arrow on the opposite side now. Now you hit him in the front. The other one is hitting back, and both of them are still protruding now. He's looking a little bit rough around the edges. Blood's trickling from both of the wounds that you've inflicted.
And I have now if I use dash for my cunning action, how far can I go with that? Since I've already used up my 30.
You go another 30.
Another 30. Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to go quite another 30. I'm just going to move down to here, I think. Get a little bit out of the way. Are these bushes tall, or are they?
No, they're just moss-like.
That's
moss-like. Yeah, probably just above to the top of your boot. So where your ankle is, probably ankle high.
I wasn't sure, so pardon me. I'm gonna move fully down to here then. Okay.
So you use a bonus action to dash and move another 30 feet away. Yep, perfect. So, and next up after Mouse is Broto's turn again. So, Broto turns around and he goes, "What you doing, boy?" He goes, "Your anarchy's gonna be in a goddamn pasted jar if you don't get your ass up and fight these little bastards." And then he is going to see.
I forgot about the other guy.
He's forgotten about himself so far.
So we have. So Broto is going to go 5, 10, 15, and then that's 25. And he's going to throw 2 daggers at Jaquai, seeing how badly hurt he is, and seeing as he ran away, to try and finish him off, to sort of like make this a little bit more easier. So he's going to roll a d20. Oh, that's a natural 20.
Oh no.
That's a critical hit. Let me just check what he does, and that means he doubles the dice on damage. So range attack with +5 to hit. Yes, he definitely hits a critical attack. Which 20. He's within 20 foot of you. So that's 1d4 plus 3. It's only a d4, so that's 3. Double it is 6 plus another 3, so that's 9 points of damage with his first attack.
Yeah, that's enough.
Ooh.
We had 8 left with the healing.
So you guys watch as Broto steps into the rushing water, using the last of his movement just to tread right through up to his ankles, and then pulls out another dagger right down from his side, and he just smiles and he goes, "No getting away, boy," and he just flings it on their hand, and you see as the dagger comes flying out and hits Jaquai straight in the throat, and the blood just flows, and you just see sort of like the tail leg and go down, and then he collapses on the floor. So Jaquai is now lying unconscious on the floor. So then he goes, and Brody goes, "Now it's getting interesting." And he turns around and he sees you, Luke, coming towards him, and that's 5, 10. So yeah, you're within 20 of him. He's going to roll his second range attack at you, and that is an 18 plus 5. And without your shield, you're 16 now, aren't you?
16, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, so he throws that, so that definitely hits, but it's not a critical hit. So rolls 1d4. That's a 1 plus 3, so that's 4 points of damage to you, Luke.
Okay.
Okay, so, and that... he has no more movement left, so he's going to stay there, and he doesn't have any other bonus action, nothing else to do it. So, it's now Lanil's turn. So, let's see if that second attempt at intimidation worked. And that's another 5, exactly the same thing. So, Lanil just still cowering in the corner, he's not moving, and he's like just... It's just the same. You won't hurt my anarchy because my anarchy is the best. Now we are to Luke's turn.
All right, so I'm free of the trap now, right?
You're free of the trap, and you've just watched Squad take a horrible dagger wound straight in the throat, and then it just fell straight to the ground, and there's blood now rushing out from his throat.
All right, so I as fast as I can is in the water. I go there, and I go there for a movement of 20. Any traps get in the way?
Nope.
All right, so I make a two-handed. I said mace earlier, but actually I have a warhammer now.
Yeah.
So I make a two-handed warhammer attack, just screaming wordlessly. Absolutely, I have literally no words, but just screaming as loud as I possibly can, just screaming at the top of my lungs, and swinging my warhammer two-handed at Broto.
Okay.
And we roll a pretty good roll. Let's see, what's my proficiency? My attack. I rolled a 15 plus. What am I? Like something really good. Let's see. Shit. Where's my attack bonus?
It's your strength, isn't it?
It's 19. I'm proficient, so it should be 21, right?
Yep.
21. Yeah, I'm proficient and plus 4 strength, so 21.
Yep. So that's was it 1d10 when it's two-handed?
It is
right?
a d10 plus 4. Yep. So that is 12 points of damage.
12. You really messed him up. You just screamed straight forward, and he came straight for you. And you came straight forward, and you land that hammer straight into his chest, puncturing right through his armor. And you just see a big spurt of blood go straight out and just splash right across your face. And sorry, how much was that again?
That was 12.
About a pint.
He's got about 6 more. We're working on it one at a time.
He's wobbling now. You see his eyes starting to go woozy as you just see. This is like a serious wound. It's just pissing. The blood's just pissing out and keeps on splashing you across the face at the moment.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
Yeah. So fortunately, Luke, now that he's gotten that out of his system, he has the presence of mind to turn his head and look over at Jaquan 20 feet away, unconscious on the bank, and with his bonus action, he will fling healing word at him, which will do. Let's see, spellcasting ability is shit.
Didn't you use all your spells?
No, I got one left. This is my last one. Let's see. Where's my spell? Okay. Is it the full plus 6 or is it plus?
Healing word is 1d4 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Okay, so is that proficiency plus wisdom?
No, just the wisdom.
All right. So that is 8 points. 6 points. 6 points of healing to Jaquan.
Jaquan, you finally rush come back into you as the heal grows, and you feel the pain, and you suddenly come back from blackness. And sort of like your eyes, if they're like, I know you look over and it's all blurry vision. The water is rushing past you, and you just see Luke. His hammer is still inside Broto's chest, and his face is covered in blood, and he's just looking at you with extreme anger. But you see as this golden bluish light from his hand is just phasing from his mouth. Sorry, as it's trailing away, the magical words coming back, raising you back from where you were. So
Thanks, Luke. Did I miss anything?
So
Wake up, cat.
is there anything else you wanted to do?
Yeah, that's it.
Next up is Botty.
Well, gosh, that guy is down. I'm assuming dead, correct?
With this guy, no, he's not. He's still up. He's wavering. You can't actually really see him because Luke is so bad. But you've just seen
in the way.
Yeah, Luke has just buried his warhammer straight into his chest, punctured through the door, and there's blood pissing out of him. He does look really shaky, but he's still standing.
And Luke is standing in front of him, so I can't shoot an arrow at him.
No, you're fine. I mean, you can move sort of like, a couple of well, if you get a one or something like that, then something might happen to Luke or Mouse there. But other than that, you can have a shot at him. Yeah.
Well, let's take another shot at him, see if we can finish him off here. Let's Actually, I kind of want to move closer to this guy at the same time, though. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Let's go over here. Let's see if that makes my angle any better. And then I'm on the way to over here to speak to this guy, too. So we'll take out the bow and have a shot here, see if I can make contact.
Go for it. Roll D20.
All right. 20. Are you kidding? Okay, 13, and then that doesn't have any proficiency or anything on top of it. That's just see if it hits, right?
It does. You add your attack bonus, your dexterity bonus, and your proficiency. So for you, that's plus 5.
Dexterity is 3, and proficiency is 2, so 5 plus 18 total.
18, yeah. So that definitely hits, even with his parry. That won't drop it down to enough. You said 18, right?
Yes, sir. 18.
18. Let me just check just to make sure. Yeah, so no, so yeah, that definitely hits. Roll damage. There was a 1d4.
1d4 rolling now. A 3 plus. What am I adding to it? Proficiency?
No, just your dex. So that's a 6.
Plus 3. 3 plus 3, 6. Yes.
And that is enough. So you lean over and you see a mouse. It's sort of like mouse is looking over at Jaquai, sort of like making sure that he's okay. And then you look over and spy just past Mouse's head, release the arrow, it goes flies straight into Broto's neck. And Broto just and he's staring you right in the face, Luke, and his eyes start to go blind, and just as he's dying, he's gonna have C looking directly right into your face. Let's see, and that is 13. And what was his intelligence modifier? Just plus 2, 15. It's just enough. And as he's dying, he's looking at you, and then suddenly you see this glint spark look in his eyes. And he goes, he goes, that's all right. At least you get to kill all your friends again. And then he just falls down to the ground as your warhammer pops right out of his chest, and all the blood just starts profusely pumping right out at the front of his chest. What would you like to do?
All right, so we're out of combat?
Yeah, well, you still have this guy over in the corner that you're not really... He doesn't seem to be interested in wanting to fight. He seems very terrified of you. But, so, yeah, you don't seem to be in danger at the moment.
All right, so the Broto, is he... so is he is not dead, right? He's going into dying? Is that...
Wait, well... with them, it's sort of it's almost into death, because if he's the only one in the room, there's nobody really to bring him back to consciousness.
Oh no,
But
no, no! That's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. That's why I was checking. Because as soon as I realized that he is falling with a mortal wound, I use my spare the dying cantrip and touch my holy symbol of Kinnerath to his lips, murmur a word of blessing, and I touch a living creature with 0 hit points. The creature becomes stable. It has no effect on undead or construct. So basically, I stabilize him so that he now. So rather than dying because no friends, I effectively stabilize him.
Yep. So he is 1 hit point, and he is unconscious.
All right. So I use my spare the dying cantrip to ensure that he does not die.
Yes. So he's unconscious. He's lying on the floor, and all the wounds on him have seemed to have closed up. You managed to sort of like stop the bleeding, and he's now lying unconscious on the floor. His feet are still in the water, sort of like being rushed along as it's spread down that right.
And I just at this point, looking around, seeing there's no other immediate danger, I toss my warhammer to the side, use my bend down and just manhandle him with all my strength, throw him onto the dry ground so that he's not in danger of dying. And then just basically, so I pull his body like to the dry ground right there, on the side of the river, and then I just as soon as I see that he's on the dry ground, I just collapse on the riverbank right there, right next to it. So that's where I wind up, and I throw his body right next to me on the riverbank, and just collapse with my head in my hands.
Okay.
And from the other side of the river, Jaquai shouts, "Will somebody please take all those damn daggers out of his jacket?"
So Mouse is going to walk up to him then and grab the daggers.
So, are you searching his body? Is it just to grab the daggers, or are you searching him?
I'm going to search him. I'm going to bend down and search him for other things.
So, roll an investigation check, and for you, roll with an advantage.
All right, that's a D20, right? So, +4 on investigation.
Yep.
And with proficiency, so that would be 18.
18 total, yeah?
Yep.
So you find 20 silver pieces.
Mm.
You find a key, a rusted old bronze key, or iron key. And you find a very small stone made of turquoise, worth 10 gold pieces. And then just if you didn't hadn't have been so interested in getting all the daggers, in one of the slits where one of the daggers were, as you pull it out, a small piece of paper pulled out of it, and you might find a very small folded up piece of paper in one of the slits.
Can I investigate that now or read it?
Sure. So what you see, give me 1 second. Wait. Yeah. So what you see is this. Is anybody still on roll 20?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what you see is this.
Mm.
And underneath it, down at the bottom, just around here, written in letters, is "Take Nightshade here."
Take Nightshade here, and that's okay. I'm going to guess. Well, we'll talk about where I think that is. All right.
So, you guys...
Can we, is there any way to save that, or...
I've got it on, so you can go back to
Sorry
it
to
anytime.
meta here. Okay.
So, as you're there, is there anything else you're there? So as you're there, Lanil gets up and looks over. He goes, is he gone? Is he dead? And he stands up and turns around and starts walking over. And he gets in and he goes, and he looks down at Broto, and he looks at you, Mouse, as you're sort of like, looking through the pockets. And then he looks at you, Luke, and he goes, You're the Winter Warrior! I knew you'd save me! My Anarchy told me that the Winter Warrior would save us. And he's sort of like, and he's a huge, burly guy. If you look in his face, he's kind of like really young in the face. He's got no beard, no facial hair, and he's got these bright blue eyes and this really long, dark black curly hair, but just huge arms and a huge barrel chest. He's kind of like a really young John Goodman. Just real big, mad curly hair, just jet black, and sort of like these really sort of like light blue eyes that sort of like contrast against the black hair. And he's just like staring at you, and he goes, "You're the Winter Warrior."
Okay, at this point, I that being completely unexpected, Luke just somewhat snaps out of it, and Luke's a big, strong guy in big armor, and I think with not under the pressure of combat, I think he could basically bound up this 5-foot gap, just take a big leap, just stand up and just take a big springing stride to bound up to him, and I'll just. I assume he's probably about. Luke's a big guy. I assume they're is he bigger than Luke, or are they about the same size?
No, he's bigger than you. He's about.
Oh wow, he is a big. He's a big dude.
Yeah, he's about 8 inches taller than you.
Wow.
He is a Nord, and he's huge. But you look in his face, and he's really young. Sort of like he's only looking at him, you will probably estimate around about 20 or so years, but. Mouse did find a letter earlier on that he deciphered that he told you about, and it says that he's just fresh out at HH, but I don't think Mouse let you know what fresh out at HH is. I don't know whether he told you or not.
No, I didn't.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think Mouse shared that. So I just bound up out of that lower level. Just walk up to him and recognizing this is it's rare for Luke to look up at somebody. Luke just looks up at him, takes his helmet off and says, "What are you saying? Who has told you these things? Who is this Ani person?" And I just stare with the guy. It was just befuddlement.
He goes, "You're the Winter Warrior. You're the Nord Warrior who saved my Anarchy up near Dawnstar. You killed all the bad elves, isn't it you?"
At this point, I will attempt the equivalent of a history check or something like, what the hell is he talking about? Do any of these words make any sense to me?
Not even Dawnstar makes any sense to you.
Yeah, I mean, I've probably heard of Dawnstar, right? I mean, it's a big city, but I mean, that's beyond that. I mean, I would have heard of it, right? But okay, I just
never heard Winter Warrior before.
I just stare at him. My mouth agape. I don't know what to make of this.
Mouse, can you roll a history check for me, just in case you might have heard this in passing?
Yeah, I'm not so good at history today.
All right, so yeah, you don't know what he's talking about. He's saying that, and he goes, "You're the Winter Warrior," and he goes, "But no, you killed all the bad elves. You saved my Anarchy from all the bad elves up near up in Dorset. He said you saved him, and he goes. And then Inigo got brought to Honor Hall. That's where he became my big brother. And he's just looking at you with just like wide-eyed, sort of like, and sort of like a smile on his face. And as you're looking at him, now that you're this close to him, you can have a look. He's kind of dirty and is a little ragged. But his the shirt that he's wearing is kind of pulled up and it is short sleeves. And both down on his right and on his left arms are these big scratches all down. And there's some that are like fresh, but there's some that are old, and seeing as your history of medicine and you're proficient with medicine, is that some of them are like years old and they're scars and they're just all straight down. So like just above his wrist on both arms. And you have a quick look, and as you look down, you see this black like vein coming up from the center of his chest, starting to crawl up the side of his chest towards his neck.
Okay, so this structure, that rectangle there, that's a table?
That's a table, yes.
And this white, what's this kind of like, what's that thing right above it?
As you turn and you look at that, it's sort of kind of like it's like a relief, like a statue.
Oh, okay.
Like it's been, but it's like concave. It's like it's within the wall. But as you look closer, you realize it's not actually a statue. It is. As you look in the center, there is a skeleton. There's a skeleton's head, like the skull of skeleton, but you notice that it's kind of elongated. It's not a human skull. And all around it is melted rock, all down the sides. And it's pouring down one side, and some of it has gone through the eye socket and out the other side, and it's covering the rest of the skeleton. Through the front chest of it is half of a greatsword. Half of a greatsword is plunged right through into the center of its chest, and where the hilt would be, where the handle of the greatsword is gone. It's just snapped off and it's driven into his chest, and all the lower form of it is all covered in melted stone. It looks very similar to the melted stone that you've seen outside at Helgen Keep. And as you're looking around and you get a good closer look at it, you see in the wall where all the melted is words written across in it. It's a pretty horrific scene, and above it, in common in Latin, there is, "Be forewarned. Death is all that waits those of ill intent who attempt to hide within the walls of Helgen Keep. And know that any that hurt me or mine shall suffer this one's fate, and have their soul wrenched from their corpse and banished to the depths of oblivion, on my name as the Dragonborn."
Whoa.
And all around as you see, you look at it, it looks like somebody a serious furnace has burned right past the skeleton, and it's created this concave hole, and the skeleton is backed right into it, and some of the melted rock has poured over the top of its skull, into its eye, through the rib cage, and then through the center of it. But you also see it's really strange that its hands are up in front of it, as like with a defensive move, but the index finger and the middle finger is crossed. Botty, can you make an Arcana check?
Absolutely. That is intelligence plus
Yep.
2. A
You
20.
sure want Jack of all trades, right? Doesn't Buddy have Jack of all trades?
I do.
Yep.
I do. What does that do again, Pat?
You
Remind me.
add 1. If you're not proficient, you add 1, I think,
Yep.
in every skill check.
All right. Let's see, let me pull up the thing here. A 20 roll, 9 plus the 1, so 10,
Plus your
Plus your
intelligence.
intelligence.
and plus 2, 12.
12. Yeah, you're not 100% sure. The index finger and the middle finger crossing each other on both hands as they're held up for the. You're kind of thinking you've seen it some before and you've heard about it, but you're not 100% sure what it is or what it means. But all around the inside of this concave, right next to where there is what all of you recognize, because all of you have seen them in passing, is Daedric symbols carved again all around the outside of the corpse, of the skeleton. As you're all going to investigate this, Lineal turns around and he sort of he looks at it and then he looks away again and he goes, and he looks back to you, Luke, and he goes, "I'm so glad that you came and not him."
So Jaquai is up and about, right? Jaquai is mobile.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So given that the party is all mobile at least, I'm going to try to lead Lineal over to the table and just sit with him. And I want to have some conversation with him, but I mean there may be other stuff to do or maybe time for a break. But that's what I'm going to try to do, is just lead him to the table and just have a seat with him and then have some dialogue, at the right moment.
Yeah. So actually, it looks about time for a break now. So I think we'll leave it there. I just end it there. And we'll come back in about 5 or 10 minutes. I'd just like to thank everybody for joining us at Skyrim 10AD, and hopefully you'll join us next time as we learn more of what happened with Broto, maybe what happened with Luke, and why does this youngster thinks that Luke is somebody called the Winter Warrior. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
See you next episode.
Thank you for downloading this edition of Skyrim 10AD. Email the show at skyrim10ad@gmail.com. For more information, please visit asapodcasting.com, where you will find a Skyrim Addict podcast, the Fallout feed, and our Amazon link, which benefits the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Find our social media in the show notes. Thanks for listening.
Skyrim 10AD would like to thank Tabletop Audio for the use of their music in this podcast. If you would like to find more music like this, just go to tabletopaudio.com for more information. Thank you.